Alright, the follow-up video, my friends. We have another video from Zeddy, which we're gonna react to. But I want to address some Highlander issues, guys. So there's a guy in the comments who says that he had a great time building Highlander decks. He has his own story, whatnot. It's all respectable and fine. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that you can build wonderful Highlander decks and have fun with it. Because that's the beauty of deck building. You can do whatever you want and achieve anything you want. The problem is when his interests are completely different than mine. Right, he likes control decks, just like Zeddy, which takes a long time to resolve. And anything can happen where the game just gets resolved by the stupidest of things, where things get out of control. And that's what Zeddy's actually talking about. Things can get out of control when you play a control deck, but that's the whole fucking point. You have to be able to resolve the game a little bit faster, a little bit better. You have to have better win conditions. You have to really think with control decks of all the possibilities. And I do not recommend playing control decks to inexperienced players who don't want to be frustrated. Which is exactly what Zeddy is doing, is getting frustrated, but like, that's the nature of control decks. I'm sorry, bro. Have you not noticed? Yes, the nature of aggro decks is to resolve things very fast, as quickly as possible. Just throw everything at your opponent, and generate as many resources too to be able to throw at your opponent. And eventually things gonna resolve super fast. With tempo, you have like moderate resolution time. A good reason why I would play tempo is because I don't want to just spend very little amount of time in the game, but I want to kind of control that I'm not spending like 30 minutes to resolve a combat, potentially 1 hour to resolve a combat. I want 20-minute games to be able to know when it's the end of the game. Also, I need to complete quests and all that shit. There's other responsibilities to do than just sit back and enjoy whatever is going on the screen for a very long time. So tempo gives you the middle ground of everything. And it seems that I have to talk about it more often because people are just missing the point entirely. Making things disappear is not a good way to win the game. Alright, Reno does not just make things disappear, but it's such a powerful turn of events where you're blocked from playing cards. That's the worst part about Reno. You're blocked. I mean, whenever you feel like you're blocked from playing the game, that's when the frustration hits the ceiling. Whatever Zeddy is talking about is another, questionable thing that may or may not make me angry. But the funny thing is, this will not make me angry. This is gonna make Zeddy look stupid again because he says the word frustrating amount of times. That's what we're gonna be doing. Let's go. How many times does he say frustrating? That's the fun of it, guys. It's crazy, right? Frustrating 0 times. We're gonna discuss every single card individually. I will add more arguments if you want to listen. It's drama, guys. And please subscribe. I know people don't subscribe when drama is happening, but you must understand, someone has to do it, right? Someone has to cause drama and be upset about things. Like, please understand. Maybe I'm useful to community, guys. Wink, wink, wong, wong, bro. Because no one wants to see me play anyways. What's the point of seeing gameplay? I can build decks, I can have fun in the game. I have proven that point. But again, most importantly, what people resonate is drama. Or very well constructed content, I guess. But it's just what it is. It's a little bit of that spicy drama has to be going on. Otherwise, I'm useless. Same is happening on my main channel. It's all the same thing. And you shouldn't be upset about it. Alright, because that's just gonna cause more drama, which has to be resolved. We cause drama to resolve it as quickly as possible. Some changes gonna happen throughout the community, potentially. But, like, just let it resolve. Don't cause more drama. Don't just divide the whole situation thinking that I'm just gonna give up. Like, people in Europe especially think they're gonna surround you and you're just gonna give up and like nothing's gonna happen anymore. It's an increasing vibe, which I don't want to discuss because that's 10 times bigger drama called The Purge. You know, that I'm trying to survive and I have my own problems to deal with. But we're not bringing that up. And that's how nice I am of a person. Yeah, you must understand, like, all these people are in fact people, and they like drama, at very least secretly. You know, they will participate secretly in some kind of way. Everyone's, like, interested in that. But no one wants to respond and make things worse. And defending Zeddy, or other influencers, YouTubers, who will never respond to my shit anyways, unless we're immediately friends of some kind of traumatic experience, you know, they will still just do their thing, and I'll be doing my thing. And when we're gonna connect, I'll be as respectful as possible, and we'll try to find a better solution to things if that frustrates them even more. You know, like, whatever. This is a response to this specific comments that you get all the time when you do that, when you're name dropping. Oh my god, this is not a good way to grow a channel. Well, I don't just exclusively do drama, it's just what people like, and I have to give what people like, and I'm not hurting anyone. Trust me, because I'm being reasonable. Reno design fucking sucks, and I have given all the reasons of why it sucks, and you can fucking write a book about it now. You can write a book about Reno of how many reasons there actually are to hate the damn thing. There's a smaller section where it's like, well, at least Reno exists, I guess, and it enables Highlander decks, which is a unique archetype of deck building. Anyways, let's listen to Zeddy saying the word frustrating a bunch, because that's what we're calculating here. That's what I want. He just has to say that one word. I know he says it in the title, but I'm very interested how many times he actually says the word. Holy crap.
And one of my big frustrations.
Big frustrations. You're not prepared. We're starting off strong. Look at this thing. We're barely completed 13 seconds journey. Why is he trying to invade people's brain and say frustrations a bunch? I don't know, but that's what's going on now. I'm frustrated. What about Zeddy, bro? What the hell? It's fucking irony. Let's go. Let's keep. For me, it's more convenient to not pop out the window, so I'm sorry, guys. You'll have to keep track of this thing yourselves.
Really bad to face. Where
again, I don't agree with the argument of just like, oh, it's just one-sided. Yeah, because you're playing a control deck. You have to be messed with. You can't just sit back and have control over the game for the entirety of the game. You're gonna be messed with a little bit every now and then, and you have to just suck it up. You're gonna be messed with warlocks and warriors and priests, right? That's usually the idea. And now Death Knights as well. Death Knight is frustrating, and I would probably delete that class, to be honest, because we're not ready for Death Knight. You know, just like delay Death Knight's release. It was not released 2 years ago or whatever. It will be released in like 10 more years because Blizzard needs to learn a few more things before they release Death Knight. When Death Knight was released, we were like, what the fuck are runes? What is going on? It's already like stupid as hell to deal with Death Knight. It's like, how do we build the deck now? It has runes? Is there like 7 more classes all of a sudden in one class? Because there's 7 different options? This is weird. I really don't think the rune mechanic makes much sense. People just still default into playing one kind of Death Knight as well, so it's just kind of lame to just be so restricted. Runes could just be additional effects of like some spell's gonna have lifesteal, some minion's gonna have +1/+1, just additional effects for specific type of gameplay. But instead we just have, you know, restrictions of which cards you can use and cannot use. And it's very difficult to build Death Knight decks, I would say.
The game that
When I say this, I should have brought up this card that nobody likes, I hope. I think this is the most frustrating card, if that's what Zeddy's looking for. And then Reno takes second place, but first place in terms of terrible design. It's just horrible design. They're trying a new thing. They're failing miserably. They're not changing anything about it. It's terrible design.
just another aspect of the game that I want to talk about that just feels like cards that wouldn't have been made back in the day for very good reason.
Well, I'm glad they are being made. It's not like I like these cards, and some of them are complete nonsense. But the idea is to mess with the game, mess with the opponent, and you're not supposed to be overly attached by playing a control deck that you're going to have full control of the game. Something bad has to happen to you. You have to be frustrated, you have to be emotional, you have to feel something when you play the game. That's actually a positive thing. And yes, Reno has to go to jail, and that's also a positive thing. It's a very interesting storyline. Just go to jail, Reno. Just jailer time. You know what happened to jailer? Same has to happen to Reno. Jailer turned into an absolute ash. It's a Warsong Commander type of nerf. Have you seen Jailer, guys? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna bring up Hearthstone. I haven't turned on Hearthstone for like 4 days. Blizzard is still so terrible at designing cards that when it comes to bigger cards, they can do some terrible things. Some of them worked out to some extent. I feel like Thaddeus was an amazing card, but then Jailer was pretty cool too. It just now deletes your deck and becomes immune. I believe that's the effect. Or it relies on you deleting your own deck. Like, I don't even understand it, bro. It's so weird. And for the longest of time, Jailer wasn't even played. Where is it? The Jailer. Destroy your deck. This minion gains immune. Amazing. Probably should cost less mana now, because it has a pretty terrifying side effects, and you just want to play with the card. Maybe you should cost 7 mana. 7 mana 10/10. Fair enough to me. Could even have Rush. But instead they just wanted really to kill the card. Who cares? It's rotating, blah blah blah, all that shit, and I can disenchant it and be happy about it. But the track record of them failing a design and making it worse is kind of on the nose. I just see it too often. So it's either the nerf is like +1 mana, or just something way worse. Whatever Zeddy asked for is like if you start with no duplicates, that if you follow this rule, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of makes things worse. I don't think that was the solution to the problem. Because the moment you have a single duplicate in your deck, these Highlander cards are not functional. But then your opponent can start shuffling cards into your deck, and the most popular, still to this very day, not nerfed, it's Plague Death Knight. The Plague Death Knight is literally plaguing the game for such a long time. I don't see people complain about it enough times. This is too much, bro. This is now getting old. I don't know, maybe like it's 8 months old, this kind of style of strategy is just to shove this card. Ever since Titans came out, probably people started playing this more and more and more and more, and it just never ends. Because it just counters control decks. This is why this is the most frustrating card, number 1. Alright, it's number 1 on the list. That's what Zeddy should have, emphasized a little bit more. It's also a diamond card, so it's very difficult to nerf and change, isn't it, Blizzard? You're gonna be shaking your hands thinking about all these diamonds that you have to refund to people, and they might never come back. It's terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how you get Helya, but like it sounds expensive to me. It sounds like diamond cards are not free for people. How many diamond cards do I have? I have 2. The Reno and the Vandar. Alright. And they're both wild now. Helya sounds like an expensive card for Blizzard to nerf, but the problem is it is a problem.
Hated this card so much. It was such a frustration because
Number 2.
delete.
Don't worry, things gonna accelerate very fast. We're gonna get like 40 frustrations in this one video.
Cards and playing it, right? Deleting those cards. It feels awful for anybody who wants to play the game.
Yeah, but again, you have to deal with it. You have to suck it up. You know, swallow your pride of like, awful things happen in the game of all kinds. And this is, not directly killing every single strategy. It could just potentially kill a strategy of some kind, which is a gamble for the opponent as well. You know, it's not a particularly strong card. It has to be corrupted. It has to be comboed with something, paired with something. So I was not frustrated by this personally, but Zeddy was, because he spends so much time in one battle that some shit like this starts happening, you know, and he gets to remember that. I don't invest overly much into one battle. Also, we'll be completing quest at some points. Isn't that crazy? I need to complete at least one. At least one, bro. Win 2 games? That's impossible. What do you mean by that? This one is a little bit different than that one. Ticketed? Yeah, maybe. But this one is frustrating beyond... what is that? Beyond what Ticketus was doing with power creeping this card. And I'm gonna talk about it when I mulligan myself some cards. This removes 5 cards from the top of your deck. Alright? A little bit different is this effect that removes a minion from your battlefield, which is now a removal. It's random. The TNTs are random. Everything's goddamn random in here. And then a random card in your hand gets deleted, which is not fun. 3 cards per TNT. So 9 in total. 9 in total. That also gives you tempo advantages. Advantages of tempo over time. Over random turns that could potentially be, very powerful swing turns for that particular moment. Just because one minion got deleted, one minion blew up. Like, this card makes no sense. It does too many things, but because it does it over time, Blizzard allows that. Of like, well, just the clock is ticking, bro. Hurry up. You're gonna blow up. Kinda sucks that you lose control of the game. This one, I side with Zeddy, unfortunately.
Brand, another card we'll talk about later that's really frustrating.
Oh, I sure hope so. Alright, are you gonna do your thing? Oh, just 1,000 needles. 1,000 needles is not enough. Broski. Ooh, baby. A triple. Yeah, let's go. Look at that power level. Can I afford to play another one? Not really. But I can do this. I can steal his attack power. Kill the minion too. Why the hell not? Who needs that? Please try again? Excuse me? Please try again, bro? I have one more request, unfortunately. That's how you do this. When you get things out of control for the time being. It's amazing. Oh my god, no, not my 1/4. What am I gonna do without my 1/4? That's crazy, bro. Alright, let's smash him in the facials. Honestly, I don't want to. I already have this, so I'm not gonna use hero power. Oh, there's more. There's more, guys. I have to burn a card. Fuck it, I don't care. I don't care. I miscalculated a little bit. Absolutely. Maybe could have done better than that. Could have attacked first, to be honest. What? He didn't fucking... What? He didn't excavate. That's illegal, bro. You gotta excavate to win. Disgusting. Such a gaslighting nonsense, right? He didn't... Did I miss something? I didn't look. To some extent. Alright. Let's go, boys. Let's get him ganked.
Not really.
Not fun interaction, bro. Oh man, the dude is getting ganked. What's going on? Aw, you dodged it, bro. Congratulations. He's at 8. The control deck is at 8, guys. Is he gonna reset the game now with Zilliax? Is it game over for me? Oh, look, it's my best friend ever. Me, best friend. You know what's a additional frustration about Reno? 5 health. Thank you very 5 health right now. He just got 5 health on top of everything. Like, how difficult it is to kill Reno. The fuck, man? Don't do that. Don't make cards like these. I do now know that my opponent is Highlander. Wonderful news that he's desperate as well. Wonderful stuff. Let's keep it coming, you know. Let's hope the pressure's gonna work out and I win the game. Maybe I can altruist successfully. But the pressure is like he played Ran into Reno and it's like he's not playing the game. He's not doing anything interesting. Yeah, I have to kill fucking Reno right now. Delete him. Annihilate. You know what? I want to return this guy back to my hands. Because he stinks anyways. What a stinker. And now what? He's gonna get 20 million armor from some kind of weapon or something? Wow, what an interesting game. After Reno came down and just slowed things down to a ridiculous extent. I put him at 3, but it's still like ridiculous. Look at this shit. Oh, I gain 13 health. Magically, bro. After it just came back from the dead. And now I'm just gonna keep on getting my health back. Like, what? Is that normal, guys? Is that a normal thing to do? There's nothing I can do anymore. Wow. The actual frustrating part of not being able to do anything anymore. Where things don't matter anymore. Because he's gonna get his game. He's gonna extend the game to infinity now. Because he drew Reno, he drew the other super legendaries. These are super legendaries at this point. And those super legendaries were the only cards that he needed to carry the game into garbage. Like, we literally got the game, bro. The first game, I just tried to complete quests. I don't want to be frustrated about the fucking game being degenerate all the time. My day ruined. Hearthstone ruins my day because, like, I'm not even investing that much effort and I'm still getting my fucking day ruined by a stupid one game. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. I guess I'm not playing Hearthstone today.
That out there, but again, super frustrating for one person.
Again? Why again? Why say that over and over again? What's the point, Zeddy? That's not an argument if you just keep saying the same thing.
Not
See how, like, I don't like Zeddy, and he doesn't even know how to generate arguments. He just knows how to pile things together, which is a skill. You know, I'm not disenchanting his dust, you know. That's a way to change the word frustration or abuse. I don't know. I ain't disenchanting his dust. What? It doesn't even make any sense when I say it. I guess I'm not even disenchanting his legendaries right now. That should be a saying for sure. Oh, but this card is not a Hearthstone card, guys. Yeah, but you gotta steal the win condition if it's just one card. If it's one card to win the game, like, maybe I will have it now, okay? I'll take it from here.
a card of these cards that are absolutely infuriating, where you kind of...
Yeah, also when I talk about Zeddy and I'm name dropping, so to speak, you know what else I do? I amplify their voice. Now there's discussion about Reno. A bigger discussion. People are interested more and more about the card that is very questionable. It is the worst designed card, and I think we can start talking about it. You know, the terrible design of Hearthstone. Maybe people will start understanding what the hell is going on. Because Reno stealing just that first game from me, like breaking my heart into pieces of like, okay, I'm not playing Hearthstone today. I mean, what the fucking experience is that? Like, please improve that experience. You know, I don't want to just bounce off like this and get a bitter taste. Of course. The other best argument of like just like stop playing Hearthstone, but like there's a community in there, and I will destroy the community as well because I care. You know, we will all stop playing Hearthstone together. Don't worry, guys. I'm very friendly. We'll figure things out. We will all stop playing Hearthstone together, and it's gonna be very fun. It could be called, you know, Bazaar. It could be called Megabug, which is my card game that I'm trying to build, but, you know, I have only so much spare time that I can spend. You know, if I can employ people, that would be a different story. But I can't even trust to employ people because there's a specific way of programming and teaching how to do things. I'm not gonna get there, guys. You know, I don't have millions of dollars for that shit. So, fingers crossed that Reno has made a good card game, which is not actually a card game, and probably not actually fun, doesn't look like fun, but like, let's hope something happens that shake things up, you know. It's name dropping for a reason, like, we have to pay attention to certain things. It's completely normal.
in Hearthstone, again, another card
Oh man. Objection is everything wrong with Hearthstone as well. It's probably second worst design card. Because it's a secret that counters minions. You know, you rely on minions to just carry the combat. And now you have to generate 1/1s in your hand somehow just to play against Mage. You can prepare yourself for that, but anytime they play a secret, now it's a very scary thing. You can't play a big minion, you're gonna get destroyed. The big minion is not gonna have an effect. It's basically pre-removal to a big minion, potentially breaking everything significantly. They could at least give you the battle cry effect pop out, or not counter, just destroy it, so at least you get a death rattle too. You would get a death rattle too, actually. So it's a weird one. Maybe they could have designed it of like, if you play too big of a minion, you have to play the smaller, or the smaller minion gets played. If you play the bigger minion in your hands, the smallest one gets played instead. And nothing gets triggered except death rattles, except the fact that a different card was played from your hands. Different cards should be in a battlefield, basically, the objection. That sort of style could be redesigned. But this, where the minion just completely poops out of existence, this sort of shit has to stop. things just disappearing from the battlefield, not being able to resist the disappearance effect, is the actual problem in Hearthstone right now. Not only I can amplify Zeddy's voice, but I can improve it and all that shit. Like, as a leader, you know the missing pieces. I'm very interested in card games and all that stuff, so I can definitely improve of whatever people are doing. I don't want to do it myself, because I don't know, people don't care about me, but people care about Zeddy, and I can care about Zeddy too. Like, I can now give 20 arguments for this guy too. It's just like, people don't appreciate arguments very much right now. So I don't think arguments is what I should be giving to people, but that's what I like doing on my channel. Alright? You're lucky. You get things for free here.
Which has been a meta card in Warlock since it got buffed to 5. We're guess this is okay now.
Yeah, again, there are some things you have to be prepared for as a control person to just like, well, I might lose 6 cards. Is that okay? Do I have a fast enough strategy to win anyways if this happens? Just the whole thing is like anti-control insanity. The whole symphony of sins, because not only you remove 6 cards, but you shuffle ridiculous cards into your deck. So, this is literally anti-control tech, which, that's sometimes how you do it. That's how you beat control, just by having these sort of cards. And control decks should be scared of specifically Warrior and Warlock at the moment, just like I explained. This is not anti-control card, but it's like anti-big minion card. If you're not generating small minions, if you're just relying on big minions, this will destroy that. So there's a little bit of traps in Hearthstone going on that you have to be familiar with. To not get overly punished, you have to be aware.
Yes, this one isn't as talked about, but still a pretty frustrating thing.
Yes, frustrating. Who would have thought?
Quick draw, but again, you just steal a spell, which again is super frustrating, especially...
Yeah. Not winning is frustrating too, you know, that's not an argument. I don't like it, it's so I don't know, maybe he likes talking to NPCs all the time, but like, damn, just one word? Is that what he knows in the vocabulary? This one word? Tell me if Zeddy knows other words. I am very curious.
Things that's not fun at all for one player. It's just really anti-fun.
He can say frustrating in different ways, obviously. I understand that part. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a completely different word to explain these effects. I think it's extremely interesting of like, oh my god, which card did you pick from my deck? What's going on, right? You get a little bit of anxiety issue of like, I think it shows the card. I think it's pretty interesting stuff. You don't want to lose a win condition by all means, but like it's kind of cool card. It's whatever. I actually feel very good about this card overall, because I get to play it myself too. This gets generated by you know, the Drilly, because it's quick draw card, or not the Drilly, the Flint, right? The Flint boy. So sometimes you get to steal your opponent's card. It's a little bit of twisty flavor in there. Sometimes a banker is gonna steal your money. It has flavor, guys. I'm not upset.
For me, the Splinterverse Whizbag expansion, and we have all these cards that just feel like hateful cards.
Oh, you do hateful cards, right? So evil. Don't hate on hateful cards, Zeddy. Don't feed into the noise.
That's another part of modern Hearthstone that I find very frustrating.
Oh, you find something. The same emotion. Alright, cool.
3 and 1 costs minion.
Somehow I felt like Zeddy's gonna say of like, oh, this minion is gonna get stolen. So he said something else. I'm like, wait. So how do you kill this minion? You get removed without its death rattles or something? Is that the... So I want to listen to him say what the problem with this card, because I don't quite understand. I was trying to get it, but let's try again.
pretty crazy. It's pretty cool, absolutely unplayable, because I want to go through all the examples of cards that punish you for playing minions that are in the current Hearthstone game, including a card like this, or just any big status minion. It's pretty alarming. Not all of them are competitive, but there are a ton of cards right now that outright punish you for playing minions.
Isn't it so weird? He doesn't actually explain what happens to this card. Bro, doesn't it just die? Like, it had... What? How you get punished? I don't get it. The only thing I can think of is the priest location that would steal the Stitch and Sue, but it's still, like, whatever, you know? They paid 4 mana for a 1/1 version of this. I don't... Like, please. This part of the video just kind of confused the shit out of me. This seems like a normal card that you would put in a tempo deck. The only reason why this is unplayable, because nobody knows how to build tempo decks. You know? Everyone knows how to play control and aggro, but tempo, the biggest mystery in the universe, I guess. You actually need decent deck builders to do this sort of stuff. So Stitch and Sue is completely playable, one of the best cards. Nobody's gonna play tempo Death Knight, forget about that part. No one cares about this shit. Alright? That's the real problem. Not whatever is mysterious thing that takes advantage of this card. Because I have no idea what Zeddy's talking about in this case. And that's pretty frustrating, boys.
Minor example, it gets frozen, your opponent gains armor, you basically, lose that advantage. It's really frustrating. Lose that advantage. It's really frustrating, but lower on the, frustrating scale.
Yeah, lower on that frustrating scale. There's a scale there. There's a whole Zeddy frustration scale, guys. We need to know more. There's a whole frustration universe of Zeddy. It's amazing.
Play a lot of Arena, you will probably, or watch my Arena streams, I am very frustrated, but anytime I play...
Oh, yeah. I already know. I don't have to watch nothing, bro, about the other stuff you do. I already know that you're frustrated. It's completely normal for you.
Big minion, I'm gonna get punished by it. Oh, I just gave my opponent an 8/8 Divine Shield with Lifesteal. Really frustrating experience. Like,
yeah, of course. You got countered, bro. Get countered.
I'm punished for playing the game.
Sometimes Hearthstone is not a game and just a frustrating experience. It depends, how well the game is actually designed. Origami cards, they're not bad design. Leave them alone, okay, Zeddy? This is the worst target you can pick of, like, oh my god, I played a fucking 8/8 and the dragon just stole its stats. How did you play an 8/8 in Arena, bro? When did that happen? It's not a fucking usual occurrence where the 8/8 meets the dragon. You have to hold it in your hand for a long time. This dragon gets stuck in your hand. You must understand there's pressure of counter cards not countering the minions. There's still pressure going on both sides. Zeddy just gets the bitter end of it and becomes like, oh, salty about it, right? That's the whole point.
Those frustrating cards out there where you play it.
I do agree, but it's just Titan-related nonsense. Because Titan abilities are way too powerful and allows Titans to even survive another turn sometimes. This card for me is a mystery, and it's kind of like a fun mystery. I never get too upset when this card comes down, but a minion gets removed pretty much. A minion gets spawned and uses its effect. There's a little bit too much going on. And yeah, you're punished for playing too big of minions, which sometimes kind of makes sense. Again, with Mage, now we're getting a pattern of, if you play too big of a minion, you might just get, countered, to say the least. Mage loves dealing with big minions in this sort of manner, it seems. Alright, fair enough. The more you know.
Really play a minion, and that actually goes for another Mage spell, where again I play a big minion with an...
Okay, we figure out what Mage strength is to freeze and manipulate big minions. Congratulations, bro. That's how you have to play around Mage. You have to first throw all the small minions in front, and not rely on big ones so much. Thanks for teaching us, Eddie. You're so kind.
The fact of like the Colossals, they would get their extensions. One of the most loathed cards.
Oh, not fun, loathed. How many frustrating words are there?
They just copy it, freeze it, and the effect, well, they just copy it, freeze it, and that's super annoying, super frustrating.
Annoying, frustrating, but we go circle back to that one word.
For free or get value off of it, which is a mega frustrating.
Oh, mega frustrating. So interesting, guys. There's so many different words.
But that is one of my least favorite design cards in all of Hearthstone right now.
You mean that one? That one over here in the end of the video where it belongs?
Now, here.
Again, your count, yeah, it is enemy minions, kind of stupid that way. Yeah, at least it doesn't remove your minion. Let's go. This is how mind control works. You cannot mind control your minions. You can mind control your opponent's minions. I don't see what's the big idea here, you know? Mind control twice for 4 mana? That sounds pretty bad, but this is not what it does. You just pick and choose which card is the best suited to be triggered by this effect. You know, you have to be very carefully choosing which card to take. And nothing really happens to your card. You just feel punished for playing a crazy minion, but like, what's the big idea, Zeddy? Why is this the most annoying card he can find? How is this? It's crazy to me. What Zeddy said it in his review when he was reviewing this card. We need to know. We need to bring back history at this point. The priest location can steal any minions. Also want to see the... Oh, it's a B tier for Zeddy. Zeddy boy. B tier.
I think it'll pop up over time. I'm just not sure if that time is now. And we have the Puppet Theater, a card that's going to drive me crazy. I don't even know if it's good, but it's a 4-mana priest location where you choose...
Ah, he knows, I guess, at least.
Choose an enemy minion, and you get a 1/1 copy of it that costs 1. This has 2 uses, so for 4 mana, you can just steal my good stuff and use it. It can also just be a dead card against like an aggressive deck. I don't care about stealing their token. That doesn't help me out, but maybe it's a Zilliax. That could be pretty good. It doesn't remove anything. It is pure greed, and it's just, oh, I can just imagine. I'm going to give it a B. I know it's going to pop up in later.
I can just imagine being frustrated, am I right, Zeddy? You forgot that word?
This is probably a pretty good priest card. The Puppet Theater, a new 4-mana located that got recently buffed. It didn't used to do that. It used to
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable card.
just be synchronize that, get the full value out of that card too, and just who knows? Like, I'll give it a 4. I feel like, yeah, those type of decks could out.
What? But then chooses to give a B? All of a sudden changing his mind? I don't get it, man.
Absolutely.
So it's the card of greed that turned into card of frustration? I don't get it, man.
Hateful
The
value
worst card?
on your opponent to play a powerful card, their strategy, and it's super
Yeah, aggro decks get punished when you heal back to full. That's also a thing that happens in Hearthstone, going from 5 health to infinite amount of health, because now you have a lifesteal armor weapon that we just saw in the first fucking game that I played. But that's not frustrating. That's fine, guys. Zeddy's only going to talk about game resets 2 years later or something. Because he doesn't care about aggro that much. Who cares about aggro? Aggro is just scumbags, right? So, when this counters your control deck, I'm sorry, bro. I literally don't care. I don't care what Zeddy is yapping about in this case.
At least
Yeah, the more control players start getting involved into conversations, the more I just want to fall asleep and it's like, what? Just go away, bro. I don't want to listen to control players whining about. Just do cool things. You're a control deck. You can do cool things, and that's it. I hope. And if you can do cool things, then maybe just shut up and try and find cool things to do. Because control decks have a whole game open for them. They have a 1-hour window of opportunity to do cool things, and they fail to do that. And you're gonna cry about a card like this? Are you sure about that? What the hell? That's a cool card. You can do cool things with this card. Oopsie. You do need your enemy participation on this, unfortunately. But it is what it is, right?
To play the game, at least for me. I mean, against an aggro deck, it's pretty useless, but that's also the frustration, how polarizing it is. But
oh, against aggro, it doesn't work. Meh.
It's like the ultimate example of it.
It works against normal decks, bro. Like, it's fine. Against aggro, you can do many other things anyways. But you should be countering aggro decks. Attack aggro decks, guys, not me. Aggro. Wah. Wah. Yeah, I do want this shit to get nerfed, but like, let's be honest, Zeddy. I'm not subscribed to aggro players, am I? I'm not having conversations with aggro players. No one has a Steam playing aggro. They just want to get a move on, get some games, get some wins, and move on with their lives. It's not that deep, bro. It's something that desperately needs to get nerfed so they can keep playing different kinds of aggro decks. That would be nice, because there's definitely a lot of variation in control decks. But to just single out aggro decks as the scum of the earth, I mean, like, relax, Zeddy. Relax. Whatever just happened here with Reno Warrior, I think that's pretty fucking scummy. Alright? And I do not want to repeat an experience like this. Only for this magical moment of making a video. Honestly, I'm just gonna do a glitch. No, I can't do glitch. I can't sort of do the glitch. Is there a reason to do the glitch? I talked about Reno. I played against Reno Warrior, who played Reno on turn 9, deleted my ability to win the game, healed himself into a winning position, went to 0 health, to just prove how much of a flex it is to play Reno and win the game very easily right after. It's just when you just play one super legendary after the other and you don't care whatsoever. I think I love aggro players, actually. They're my best friends. Please give me more aggro players. At least they try to play the game somehow instead of making things disappear. Get the fuck out of here, Zeddy. You're making me angry again. Also, Zeddy fucking sucks one more day at a time, so this frustrating thing is pretty frustrating, pretty ironic, pretty hypocritical. He's pretty unaware now of himself and his psychological inability to, you know, be a normal human being. That kind of sucks, you know. You can only be Shizo if you can't upload a video into the internet for everyone to see. The reason why I'm bringing it up is that you can still be Shizo, though, if you're not trying to be friends with people, which is why, at the same time, while creating drama, I'm sort of like reaching out to these bigger creators and just asking a question, is there more room for community influencing of some kinds? Like, we could be making our own card games, we could be discussing more in depth and searching for design flaws and Heartstone philosophy, all that shit. It's a very interesting thing to do. More people should do it. More people should contribute towards something, right? I just love how I can be talking in my room and not be a Shizo boy. Despite what everyone wants to try and tell me. But you're trying to tell me, you're trying to talk to me. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Across the internet, you can do whatever you want. Everyone can be Shizo illegally. No one's going to be stopped. It's a big, profound idea that I will be using in the courts, I think.
Ultimate example of it, of these cards they make that are just so frustrating.
Yeah, it's painted frustration all over here, right? Who likes theater anyways? The worst kind of people.
No chance in hell they ever would have made these cards back.
You know what else they wouldn't do back in the day? Borklers that just make things disappear, you know? Just more twisting nethers, more brawls, stuff like that. But they keep printing that. The power creep of Borklers is also increasing to the point where they're not as they used to be. They're very different from regular Borklers where you just pay 3 mana to deal 2 damage to everything. Wow, that's pretty fine. But deal 3 damage for 2 mana? Now it's getting kind of weird. What's going on? Isn't that too cheap? Isn't that too crazy? It's difficult to dodge. 3 damage is so much more than 2 damage. For 2 mana is so much less than 3 mana. Things get so weird with Borklers, where this just pales in comparison. I swear.
In the day. Cost, what it does to the Hearthstone game, to me, I find it really frustrating.
I find many frustrating things too. I just don't know what that means anymore.
Since it's been introduced.
What did you say, Zeddy?
Look at Zilliax. Let's look at the virus module in particular. It has been a frustration since it's been introduced.
I think the worst part about virus module is reborn parts. What the hell is that? This is literally a 1/6 module. It's one of the most powerful statted modules. Like, the more health you give to a minion, as long as the minion has relatively like 3-4 attack. Whoa, now it gets really out of control. I think virus module is now the most powerful one. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you pair it with anything, it's already very powerful. I know that there's 1 mana module that goes very well with this, that shuffles Zilliax back into the deck. It turns into a 4 mana Zilliax that kills any minion twice. That's pretty good. So yeah, I think virus module is on the brink of just being nerfed, because it gives the minion like 1/6 health or even more. Not just 1/6, like the reborn will give an additional effect to the minion. Sometimes bringing back the Divine Shield, it's not a 1/5, it's not 1/6, is 1/7 module in terms of stats. Additionally, gives poisonous, so you don't even care how much attack this has. This is pretty broken. I'll just agree with Zeddy very much. Not because it's frustrating, but it's literally 2 goods in comparison.
It took the stealth off, but again, you can't kill it.
They did not nerf it. They changed it. It went from 1/3 with stealth to 1/4 without stealth, which is a little bit of a, you know, they just keep, they try to make it still very, very good, and ending up making it insane in comparison again. The virus module is the actual perfect module, and virus module somehow reminds me of plagues. And Zilliax is the new plague of Hearthstone, the new Astalar of Hearthstone. Absolute insanity.
Frustration where, unless you have a very...
Ah, there's levels again. Oh my god, I love that. The tier list, the levels, man, we gotta interrogate Zeddy. He's holding some kind of very important information from us.
Sir, it's a card that's just really, really gonna irk you.
Irk. What an interesting emotion. Irk. What the fuck is this vocabulary, bro? Look at this card. Frustration. Look at the other card. Frustration. Irk. Irk. Oh, this is a meme, bro. This is next level meme. Checking frustration levels of Zeddy. Holy shit, man. Every single time I do these, if I do this ever again, because that's kind of stupid. Why am I doing this, right? But it's so funny. It's so fun. I can't help it. Anytime I do this, we will find the second word and the third words that we're also gonna count in as the substitute for frustration. Zeddy is not gonna get away. We're gonna unlock the entire tier list of frustrating words, man. Let's go.
Rattle cries are active double. There's nothing you can do about it, which is very frustrating.
Yeah, there's something you can do about when a person playing 8 mana 2/4 in one turn. There's something you can do about it. Alright? Just don't focus on sitting back and relaxing and being like, I don't care, you double your belly. You play a 2/4 for 8 mana, I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'll just remove this 2/4. That's control. That's control for you. You just sit back and just let your opponent out-control you. Okay, whatever you want. Whatever you want, Zeddy.
Rest of the game effects have had to be balanced very carefully.
Yeah, and it looks balanced to me now. I just don't like Reno. The brand thing, he kind of helps, the Ignis get the second option, potentially. The second option is the one that my opponent was using. But, you know, double, like a Wind Fury armor thing would have been fine. There's options for my opponent to heal back to full, basically, with all these 6 charges of the weapon. Like, unbelievable nonsense. You don't even have to, like, nerf Wind Fury, just nerf durability of the third weapon. Durability back to, like, 4. You know, like, why is there so much durability? Like, a 3/3, a 5/4 for 10 mana. Like, at least remove durability so I can maybe play the game while my opponent is healing back to full. Maybe I have a chance. Bran is, like, fine now. It's like, I'll give it to him. It's a Highlander payoff. Whatever, bro. It looks cool to me. The actual frustrating part is that Warrior cannot die. They have infinite armor, and Bran is a crazy mix with Warrior unkillable nature. That's the problem. It's so annoying. The actual thing that this mixes with. Because that's literally Warrior's identities, to have infinite armor, to survive very, very long time. And then when you double battle price, you get so many bonuses with this thing. You get even more survivability on top of that, basically making Warrior unkillable for the rest of the game. It's kind of fucking weird. Alright, gave Bran to a completely wrong class, it seems like. Could have given it to, like, Druid or something? Druid is struggling. It doesn't have Highlander card. Oh, wait, it does have. Okay, I don't know then. I have no. Just give it to. No, Priest still. What? Who needs it? Who needs Bran more? Give it to someone else, please.
For Odin as well.
Yeah, that can be said of Odin as well. While you're gaining armor, while you're becoming unkillable threat, you're also killing your opponent, which makes no sense to me. Of like, wow, you can do both ridiculous things that win you the game at the same time. Wow, that's pretty crazy. This sort of design, like, makes no sense even. Gaining armor, like, when I play nature spells, I'm not necessarily gaining infinite amount of health with druids, but when you do these for the rest of the game effects, by gaining armor, you winning the game. Like, what the? That's a terrible idea.
Most, and probably not as talked about, is a card like Helya.
Now we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna flush this shit down the toilet. We're gonna disenchant that diamond card. Let's go, bro. Keep talking.
Helya is like Helya. Helya is one of these cards that bothers me.
Bothers me? Kind of dodge the frustration word. Please don't do that.
Because about it, for just 4 mana with only 1 rune requirement.
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. You literally have a rainbow over here, but it's just a 1 rune requirement over here. That makes no sense. This card has to be more exclusive. It's the easiest way to nerf a card, to be honest. The introduced runes might as well fucking use that as exploits. If they like it so much, I don't like runes at all. It's kind of stupid. But if you have rainbow here, just put a rainbow here. All right, maybe it's a, you know, print mistake, so you don't even get your dust back. Punish these people for crafting Helya like this. This is insane.
Despite the weapon,
I love it. I love everything Zeddy is saying right now, because that's cool. Fine, Zeddy gets 1 reputation back. We're talking about Helya.
When the blood is drawn, you then shuffle 2 copies of it. This minion costs 10 mana, horribly statted, not a battle cry, not a for the rest of the game effect, and this was...
He's comparing that with Helya, of like, this is a more normal version. Yeah, you wish Plague Death Knight would also shuffle Plagues into his deck as well. That would be nice. You wouldn't want to draw Helya that fast. No, it's just such a nonsense.
It was a meme because they know this type of effect is really frustrating.
I only know one meme, guys. I hope you understand what this word is that I just caught.
Frustrating to face.
Frustrating, guys.
And I know a lot of the lessons of the past of card design that just really frustrates.
I mean, I think Blizzard developers gonna really learn now and gonna print a Zeddy card that really encompasses who Zeddy is. You know, a frustrating something, right? A frustrated clown. Is that gonna work for you?
and leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. Such a weird saying. Another word that substitutes frustration. Man, I love this shit. This is so interesting.
And I
This is an example of like unhinged Zeddy, of like he's gonna say the same word a bunch of times throughout the video. Here's a card. Frustrating. Here's another card. Like, wow, that's so cool, Zeddy. So interesting to listen to this man.
that falls under this criteria that I call it necessary evil right now.
There is no necessary evil. There's just stupid people who want evil things to exist because they feel like they can't live without evil. Wah! There's basically crybabies. That's very annoying and make me rage quit into drama instead of playing Hearthstone. You know, I'm not playing Hearthstone right now, guys. That's what the point of this is. You know, don't look at my frustration and be like, hey, just don't play Hearthstone then. Yeah, I'm not doing it right now. Have you noticed? I'm not doing it. I'm playing with other people's emotions because I don't know why they play Hearthstone right now. Maybe they have different reasons, you know?
Now, but it's outright broken. It's super frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Fucking necessary evil with that 5 armor. Everything about just so stupid. It just accumulated the stupidity of like, bro, why do you need extra survivability with 5 armor if you're already like blocking everything, destroying everything, just annihilation? It's literally, it should be called the apocalypse, you know? Shouldn't have even a face attached to it. I think Reno just lost all his reputation, you know, by being attached to this card. Literally the apocalypse. Literally the apocalypse that came from Mage. The most similar cards to this is another Reno that makes everything disappear the same fucking way. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Literally the same card got reprinted as a neutral card. So what the hell? That came from Mage? No wonder it's the apocalypse and should be renamed as such.
Reno Lone Ranger. Poofing. Everything. There's no counterplay to this anymore. But
honestly, there's literally no counterplay and just zero. The only counterplay, you know what it is? Get lucky, bro. Hopefully your opponent did not drew Reno fast enough. I don't know. Like past turn 9, you have to develop some kind of extravagant strategy of how you're gonna deal with Reno, but they heal with 5 armor. When you what's the worst thing that happens when where's the weakness, right? The only weakness is the health, and this is the last titsy bitsy punch in the face moment of like, well, he also heals too. He's gonna just plug in all the holes as if he's the ruler of the universe simply because he started with no duplicates. Like, that's kind of stupid. Just because you diversified your deck enough, you get every hole plugged in and we have to play 30 more minutes to resolve the game? What the hell? It's technically, you know, you can make this argument. It's a cool argument of like, but you're gonna play for 30 minutes, but every card your opponent plays is gonna be different. That kind of makes sense to me. It's a pretty good argument. What doesn't make sense to me is Brandon Torino. Fuck that shit, bro. What the hell? This makes Warriors just so arrogant of like, I can play Brandon Torino every single time, no matter what happens. You know, I will not die. I can't possibly die anymore. And then you do some kind of double battle cry, healing armor, generating nonsense, spam. Or in that case, Ignis Weapon, just full heal. Just all the evil people gathering in the warrior deck, in the control archetype. All the evil people are just bubbling up to that place. Because, designing big cards is very difficult. And you know, Blizzard is also frustrated of like, why can we design a big card that's being played all over the universe, basically? Oh, wait, you did it. And now it's bad. Now the game sucks because you actually did something you shouldn't have done. Where when big card is played too many times, the game is kind of broken, to be honest. By turn 9, there should be plenty of pressure to not allow this shit to happen, but the card is so ridiculously powerful, you just play one card. On turn 9, just one card. Because you have it and you need to play it. Wow. Whoops. Big cards are not supposed to be played. That's the whole point of a card game. We don't want one card to just dominate an entire turn, or even 2 turns, because I can't play cards no more the following turn. We're gonna figure out what are the best and the biggest cards we can play. But we don't want to be forced to play big cards, right? If you can play a 7-drop that sort of has a pretty powerful effect, that's great. You have card advantage because of that. You haven't wasted that many cards to play a 7-drop. And hopefully it has big enough effect where it doesn't win the game, it doesn't steal everything and destroy everything, but that's what Reno does. You must understand, on top of everything, Reno is a wonderful value card. It has infinite value over here and over here. It's just the magical ultimate value card. It extends the game into the future on top of everything. They will never run out of cards. Just nothing possibly bad can happen anymore. All the holes are plugged in with one card. There shouldn't be a perfect card. That's the whole point. There should be weaknesses to this nonsense. And even Zeddy contributed to make sure that this card is extremely perfect. That you can't even shuffle things into your opponent's deck in case you would be able to do that otherwise. Now even that hole is plugged in, and Blizzard was so ready to do just that. The Reno story, the story of Reno is truly some fucking marvelous experience. It is frustrating experience, but holy shit, is it something else we have never seen before. Oh, the perfect card.
The better of the evils. It's just the way modern Hearthstone design is, and it's frustrating that later base stacks cards just leave such a sour taste in the mouth of like every player.
Bro, I don't like taste of Reno, okay? I'm not trying to make out what is the taste in my mouth? Where does that come from? This idea, bro. It's just like throws a word. I can't, man. It's just so annoying when Reno is a terrible card, but also this card, pretty terrible too. Doesn't work very well.
I play ladder, which I don't play nearly as much as I used to. I'm really frustrated.
Okay, good. Now you're just causing drama. Let's go. Zeddy has, buffed himself, and it's like, let's cause drama. Let's talk about this thing. Let's put myself on a thumbnail and stuff. I need this one. I need this thumbnail myself. Alright, let's go.
Really frustrated, kind of stressed out, and like anxiety-ridden, and I'm
yeah, so many bad emotions, like, holy crap. Such a range of emotions, guys. Irked. You just get irked, bro. Get fucking irked.
Frustrating to so many people. And
have you heard it? Do I have to repeat?
Early design on cards that could just be really, really frustrating.
Yeah, sure. Sure, Zeddy. Whatever you say, I haven't heard it the first 24 times.
And you just gotta deal with it, you grumpy old man who's getting a little bit of gray in their hair.
Don't deal with it, just ask for nerfs. Properly. Of like, I don't like this card for this and that reason, please nerf it. Please change it. I don't care if it's diamond, I don't care, whatever. He can do that properly and not just like unleashes frustration as if like we have to suck it up as a sludge off the floor just to appeal to Zeddy. You don't read comments anyways. Who cares? Right? You don't seem active in the comments. Come on, man.
Enjoy the video, please like and subscribe.
I was frustrated about the video. I think stay salty, my friends, is no longer the ending. I think it's stay frustrated, my friends. I think Zeddy was wrong all along. So 25 times, and there's multitude of words that substitute frustration. This is probably a 60, guys. A fucking 60. Just try and catch it, basically. If you joined my video and you feel like I earned your frustration, leave a comment in the doobly-doo. See you guys next time.